Let's go ahead and switch it around. There we are. Good morning, Facebook family. Welcome to Wednesday Wins. We'll give everybody a couple seconds to join on, but I'd like for everybody to take a nice, beautiful view of downtown Fort Myers. I'm so excited about today. Excited to get started. It's a little bit chilly out here today, but it should make for great content. So, once again, welcome to Wednesday Wins. I'm Jason Teeters, and today's topic: enjoy your life, change your point of view. And I'm super excited to talk about today's topic for a couple different reasons. One, so many individuals that I have the pleasure to work with and spend time with are always trying to find ways to make real change in their life. And we get so overwhelmed with all the different options and things that we could do to change our current circumstances. But a lot of times they seem overwhelming. And so whenever I talk to anybody about making real change in their life, it always comes down to they first need to change their point of view. They need to change the way they look at either their situation, their current circumstances, or change the way they view the opportunities they have before them. So I thought today I'd give you a brief overview of what I mean by changing your point of view. I thought I'd share a couple stories, and then at the end of today's episode, I want to give you some actual tactics that you can apply today and throughout the next couple of days to sort of see where you fit in that idea of how you look at things and how changing your point of view can be extremely beneficial in trying to accomplish the things that you want. So let's get started. So, change your point of view. I like to talk about this, and I think the best way that most people can recognize it is about 6 years ago, I was out shopping for a new vehicle, and I spent a couple days trying to figure out exactly what type of vehicle would be the best fit for cost, for pricing, and just for my own personality. And so I spent some time, and I got the perfect vehicle. I was like, this is it. I drove it home, and I was excited. But over the next 30 days, I noticed that every single place I went, somebody had a vehicle exactly like mine. Maybe not the same color, but they had the exact same make and model. And I was so confused, right? And I'm sure it's happened to a lot of you before, where you get something, you think you're the only person that has it, and then as soon as you obtain it, you look around and it seems like everybody has either the same type, the same model, the same shoes, the same haircut, all these things that you never focused on before, but once you have it in your possession, you now notice it more. And so that's a great example when I talk about changing our point of view. The idea that once you focus on something, it comes to the forefront. There's a famous quote from To Kill a Mockingbird that says, we generally see what we look for, and we generally hear what we listen for. And I think that makes 100% sense, right? When we start focusing on things, they seem to come to the forefront. Now, there's all different ways that this has been explained. Some people call it law of attraction. Some people call it the science of attractiveness, or whatever you want to call it. We all know deep down that when we think about something, it comes to fruition. Another great example of this is when you've thought about a friend or a loved one or somebody that you haven't seen in a while, and guess what? They either reach out, they either call, you either run into them, or somebody mentions their name. So the reason why I tell this first part of the story is the idea that you understand that when you focus on something, we have real applications of seeing it applied and seeing how it affects our day-to-day. What up, Tyler? Glad you're here, man. So how does that affect us, and how can we use this idea of changing our point of view to really enjoy our life? So let me explain. Our brain is probably one of the most complicated and awe-inspiring operating systems on the planet. And most people say, well, the computer and technology and all these gadgets. Well, sometimes you have to look around and realize that everything that you're experiencing, everything that you're touching and tasting and using at some point started in the mind of somebody else. For example, Thomas Edison, when he thought of the light bulb, that was just something that was imaginary until he brought it to life. When we look at Elon Musk, the things that he was thinking about, that was something that started in his mind and now he's bringing to the forefront. So I want you to make sure you understand that when you focus on something, right, and when you concentrate on it, you bring it to reality. And we're living in those realities. We're living in that right now. The first person thought of Starbucks, Target, PayPal, Amazon, right? All these are ideas that started in their brain. And so today, why do I want to talk about that and why do I want to make that so important? I want you to understand that your brain is like a heat-seeking missile. Right? Once you focus on something, once you put your mind to it, your brain will start moving you towards that in every aspect. That's how we get momentum, consistency, momentum, and we're pushing ourselves towards that. So a lot of times when you're thinking about the things that you don't have, the things that aren't working, the mistakes that are happening, the situations that aren't fair to you, right? All you're doing is bringing more of what you don't want to the forefront. And so my goal today, this Wednesday, is to get you to understand that let's find a way to shift our thought process. Let's find a way to think about the things that we want that's going to ultimately change our life for the better. And so how do we do that? I think a practical way for most of us is not to go out and start saying, I want $1 million or I want this fancy car and thinking that, if I, like Jason said, if I just think about it enough, it's going to happen. No, I think today what I want you to do is concentrate on how many times you give negative connotations to the things that you're trying to accomplish. And so what do I mean by that? What I mean is, if you're leaving your house today, or if you're at work and you know you got a meeting and you say, I know this person's going to say this at the meeting, or I know this person's going to give me more work, or I know I'm going to be stuck behind snowbirds all day on the way to work, or I know that this isn't going to get done, or this isn't going to happen. You're putting your mind in a negative space. And so what I want us to do today, and for every single one of you today, is every time that happens, first, as soon as it happens, as soon as that negative thought comes out of your mind, I want you to take a step back and I want you to change your point of view. What could be the best outcome for that situation? What could be the best thing you would want? And then think about that and then move forward. We have to get our brain off of autopilot. This idea that it's just habit, it's habitual, things are coming, and we just negatively think about the things we don't want. And so today, I want you to really focus on interrupting that pattern, that thought pattern, with positive affirmations. And so as you're going through your day, if something comes up and you're frustrated or it stresses you or you make that big, that's a moment for you to stop and say, okay, what do I really want out of this situation? What would be the best win-win for me and for everybody involved? And when you do that, when you think about it from that point of view, you'll find that you'll start to make subtle shifts in the success that you want. And so that's all I want from you today. As you think about it, as you go through your day, you want to start making shifts in how you think about what is going on in your life. We want to change our point of view to enjoy our life. And I thought being back here, this backdrop gives you a perfect example from where I'm usually shooting as an idea of changing the point of view. When we see things from other perspectives, when we visualize them where we haven't seen them before, we can start to come up with new creative ways and new ideas of how we can get what we want. And so today, this Wednesday Wins, I'm so happy that many of you joined. I'm so happy that you're you're paying attention and you're seeing what's going on and you're using some of the information to make real changes in your life. So I am going to leave you with that simple statement I said earlier today, that we generally see what we're looking for and we generally hear what we're listening for. And so today I want you to start listening and hearing and seeing and looking for the things that are going to make your life better, things that are going to move you forward, that's going to propel you, your family, your business, and then pounce on those. Go after them. When they say when you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail. Be that hammer today and make sure positivity is the nail that you start hitting every single day today. So I wish you the best of luck. I wish you nothing but wealth and happiness. And I'll see you next Wednesday on Wednesday Wins here at Facebook. You can also find me on YouTube under Jetsetstate, as well as my website, jetsetstate.com. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you change your perspective, change your point of view, and you enjoy the life, the one life we have, to make the best of it. This is Jason Teeters, and I'm out.